Right, now, bands. Bands is the name given to an old-fashioned system dating back from the Middle Ages, where someone would be announced as getting married in church, and their husband would be announced in the other village. So, for example, John and Sarah were getting married at Lavenham in Suffolk and Kettlebaston in Suffolk, where my mum lives. And they would announce it in both churches, because they didn't want John to get married. If John already had another wife, right, it would stop him remarrying twice and committing bigamy, okay? And banns was brought in to stop bigamy, and it was brought in to stop people marrying who shouldn't have married, and it was just to let the community also, it was a good side to it as well, to let the community know who was getting married, because everyone likes to know, don't they? You know, ooh, that's interesting. Now, the church still does this. Why does the church still do it? Because a lot of church members won't know you personally. Why does the church still do it? Because the Church of England has decided to keep this tradition, because it means that you have to come and hear your bands being read at a Sunday morning service. Now, when I say have to, legally you don't have to. But I'd like you to come to at least 2 of the readings of bands this year, if you can. Last year, I said only 1 reading of bands, and actually quite a few couples didn't come to any. And I was really disappointed with that. So I'd like you to try and come to at least 2 readings of bands here at All Saints. And they happen bang on 10:30, the month before you're married. Now, if you can't come to 2, you don't need to write to me. I'm a loving person, I'll forgive you, okay? And I won't do anything bad during your wedding, I'll still just be just as nice, okay? Because I won't miss out a hymn or get your name wrong or anything like that. Because I'm a loving person, yeah? It's a joke, okay? For you YouTube watchers. It's not a product that you're buying. If you go to a castle and you get married, you'll see they charge thousands of pounds. We only charge, for the actual wedding ceremony, we only charge about £300, which is the legal fee. There are the extra things like bands and flowers and stuff, but the actual fee is quite small, because we're doing this not to raise money, but because we want to bless you as a couple. And so we think if you could try and come to 2 services before your wedding, you don't have to, just so that you can see what we're like on a Sunday morning. We want people to come to church services because we believe in the Christian message, and we want people to see what we're like on a Sunday. But it will also make you slightly more at home on your wedding day. Now, some couples say, we're going to come every week. We're going to come regularly up to our wedding. We're going to come, you know, we like this vicar's sense of humour. We may be in a minority there, but we want to come along, and we want to get to know him. We want to get to know the congregation. We want to just be part of this. And the couples that come to church before their weddings, they actually find the whole thing even better. And I mean that, because they feel part of the church. You know what I mean? It's a bit like if you were, I don't know, whatever it might be. So you don't have to come. Now, we have a 10:30 service here every Sunday, and your bands will be read out at bang on 10:30, so you need to get here for 10:25 at the latest. Bang on 10:30, the 3 Sundays of the month before your wedding. The first 3 Sundays in the month. So if you're getting married in June, your bands will be read the first 3 Sundays in May. Okay? If you're getting married in September, your bands will be read the first 3 Sundays in August. If you can't come and hear them read, then try and come to church on 2 occasions at other times. But we'd love to see you. If you've got young kids and you are awkward about coming to a traditional church service, we also have a service in the church hall at 9:45. And then you could leave that and come in and hear your bands afterwards. And we have a creche for the kids at the back, plus a Sunday school. So have a look at our website. We've got loads of things, and we now have quite a good young families situation here, haven't we? Good. And quite a few children that come to church. So, you know, we'd love to see you, because it's part of us forming a friendship with you. Similarly, I might invite you to a barbecue in the summer. I probably will. And, you know, not one couple came last year, and I was really disappointed. I mean, I'm just a normal guy. I may be a vicar, but I'm nice. And I'd like to get to know you better before your wedding. So please come if you can. It's great fun. And I'll let you know the barbecue date. Nothing to be scared of. Just come and have a burger at the Vicarage Garden. It's perfectly good. And I played quite normal music, not lots of religious stuff. What did I have? Yeah. But Amy Winehouse, you see? I'm just a normal person. Just because I wear one of these doesn't make me...
He does have young people as well.
Yeah. So come along, Join in the church. We are normal people here. We just happen to believe in God and Jesus and all those spiritual things. Another thing we do is we're going to run an Alpha course in the summer on a Friday evening. Has anyone heard of Alpha? Alpha is a way of discovering the Christian faith. And if you want to sort of search for a deeper spiritual life for yourself and find out about God's love for you and how you can know God on a personal level and discover what Christianity is really about, then I will send a mailing out to you about that, as well as the barbecue, inviting you to that, because that's meant to be fun too. And we have a meal together, and it's a really good way of understanding the Christian faith before your wedding. Because if you understand the Christian faith better, or even after your wedding, you can even be doing the Alpha course and get married during the wedding, then the people you have the meal with will be very interested to find out how your honeymoon was, etc. Okay, so that goes for St. Peter's couples too. Now, if one of you lives outside of the parish, or if you both live outside of the parish, you need to go and see your vicar where you live as soon as possible and tell him about getting your banns read. Could I just ask you to put your hand up if you either live outside the parish or both of you live outside the parish? Okay, so that's just 2 couples here. So you need to find out your local vicar where you live, drive around the area, find the nearest church of England. It has to be Church of England, and just say you're having your banns, you need your banns read, and then it's your duty. He may ask, or she may ask you to go along to church as well, and you pay them so much money. I think it's about £36 or £34, and they read it out in church. And really, it's a way of making connection with your local vicar. If you don't get your banns read, you can't get married here. It's simple as that. So legally, it is a requirement to contact your vicar as soon as possible. Sue, do you want to say anything about the money side of things?
Yeah. Actually, I do write to you about 6 weeks before you get married to let you know the dates that your banns will be read here and the scale of charges for your wedding, so you can then probably will have worked out whether you want the choir or the bells, or if you get into difficulties, you can email me or phone me and we can go through it together. Bands, certificates, they have to bring to their rehearsal, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's only one couple that affects, isn't it? And the other one we've got to get them. But it's pretty straightforward. And there is a list of charges in the folder there, so you can work it out from there. But you can always email me or phone me, I don't mind at all. Whether you email or phone, I'm used to it. So I think it's good to catch up with you.
Sue is absolutely fantastic as an organiser, and having her here in this way is just brilliant, because she's brilliant at what she does, and we wouldn't be able to survive without her. There's also a lady called Jane who helps me with wedding rehearsals now. Now, what will happen is, we're going to go for a tea in a minute after Sue's given a little talk about marriage, which is going to be really helpful. And over tea, I'm going to arrange the next appointment, which will be at the vicarage. The vicarage is the other side of the church hall from here. So as you go past the church hall, it's along the same side of the road, the next building. And I will arrange to see you. Sue will be there, Jane will be there, and we'll go through your wedding choices with you on that evening. So you need to have decided what hymns you're having, what readings you're having. And at that meeting, we will sort your rehearsal out. Now, wedding rehearsal, you need to get bridesmaids, groom, bride, obviously, father of the bride or whoever's acting in that capacity, best men, anyone who's doing photography or video if they're not professional and they're willing to come out, or if they're professional if they're willing to come out. They're usually not professional people because they will just come on the day normally. Now, if your best man lives in Luton or Nottingham or York and your wedding rehearsal is on a Thursday evening, I would not expect them to come all the way. They'd only need to come if they live somewhere like Bromley, okay? But anywhere further than that, really what they can do is meet me just before the wedding, about half an hour beforehand. Similarly, if your father, the bride, lives a long way away, don't travel a long way for a wedding rehearsal. We can sort it out just before the wedding.